The notion of community foundations is, instead of being highly specialised or only having a commitment to, a sporting interest or, one kind of welfare support, we take the approach that there's going to be changing needs in the community and that we have to be able to understand our community and shift with those needs. So there's really no limitations, and that's one of the strengths of a community foundation, that we can take a good look regularly at the differing needs across the community. So we work from Corryong and Alpine Shire right down to Corowa and all the small towns in between. We work very much to the capability of local people. We've got a number of corporate sponsors involved with us already who I think have taken an interest in the way that we work. Our operational processes are very lean, they don't require a lot of money.
I just like the idea of community looking after community, and that's what attracted me to becoming part of Board of Trust. I like the idea that a community shouldn't be looking outside for assistance all the time, that it's about us creating the future for our families and for ourselves, and this is what attracts me to the whole notion of community foundations, and particularly to Board of Trust. Any organisation in the community can apply to Board of Trust for funding for a worthwhile purpose that fits our criteria for growing communities. I think it's really inspiring when you go in, you find a group that's working away with volunteers, trying to do something that's really important, whether it be providing educational resources for a particular group in the community, providing some sort of social outlet for people who perhaps have some limited social opportunities, whether it's a group looking at kids with disabilities, looking at how we can better make the lives of their families better. So many different groups you find that you didn't even know existed, that they're there day in, day out, putting in their volunteer time. And if we, through our grant rounds and through our sponsorship, could just make their life a bit easier and get them some better outcomes, well, that's great.
Year 6 at Lavington East Primary is abuzz with anticipation, just a few months away from a trip to Canberra to see Parliament House, the War Memorial and Questacon. But until now, one member of the class was going to have to miss out. Mitchell Carter has MS and needs a wheelchair. To go on the trip, extra money is needed. Teacher Karen Percy spent hours researching how to get the funding needed for Mitchell to go along on the trip and spent several hours on an application to the Board of Trust. She was successful.
We were looking for an opportunity to support the community locally. This we see as an easy option, if you like. It's possibly a bit lazy because we were being approached by other charities locally, and it was always hard to make a decision on who would support and why, and I think the diversity of it is another attraction.
Good afternoon and welcome to Alpine Radio 92.5 FM. From the mountains to you, from the heart of the high country, the voice of the Upper Keel Valley. And a special thank you to Board of Trust for coming out this wonderful sunny afternoon to pay us a visit. And a special thank you also for their help in us getting our Hawk 12 professional audio mixer.
We've got about 30 volunteers who come in on a weekly basis. Some come in 2 to 3 to 4 times a week and do a show, which is just wonderful. When the fires were on here in 2007, or 2006, 2007, we had the station open 24 hours a day, which was a huge job, and it had direct contact with the CFA and the DSE, who kept us up to date, and we were able to keep others up to date as well. 3 o'clock in the morning we'd have a live report going to air, so it was fantastic that we could provide that service.
One of our staff members had an interest in and knew that Board of Trust was being established, came to us and said, Andrew, can we get involved in this? Took it to the management group, took it to the board, and the rest of it, as they say, is history. So we came to the party and said, well, we'll provide you office space. So we've got a couple of offices, we provide photocopying, fax, all the tea, coffee, as much as we can in just administrative physical support. And we also provide a bit of financial support each year as well. So it really does give us perfect alignment with what's important to Human Building Society with an organisation like the Board of Trust, which can do a whole heap of things that we can't. Gives staff engagement, gives community awareness of what we're about, and there's an element of being a good corporate citizen.
We're really working so that organisations feel that it's not a one-way street. If they're helping us develop new programs and support activities in the community, they're getting something back, not just a good feeling, but some promotional value, some recognition, and maybe even ways in which they can expand their business.
We're obviously part of a local community, and it's an opportunity for us and other businesses to give to something like the Border Trust. And in our case, we most recently did the Walk for Walk campaign, where we donated some money and T-shirts were printed, and it provided an opportunity for the community to take part in that. It is an opportunity for us to work with other businesses and donate with other businesses in order to give back to the community.
And in fact, the sky's the limit. The more businesses that get on board, the more we can do. So there are lots of ways. Anyone can help Border Trust. You don't have to write the cheque, you don't have to put your foot in the door, but there's a way for you to help.